Hey guys, welcome back to another episode with the 67 GTO. It is here behind me, and if you can tell, the floor is out. Took quite a bit of work to get it to this point. In a moment here, I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what we've got going on. But it was a lot of work that had to get done in order to do the floor the right way. I'll kind of move it down here. You can see the toe boards are in. They're not finished yet, but they're in, and they needed to be in before I did the floor. The floor is out. I'll back up so you can get a full view of the car. A lot of work to get to this point. A lot of things had to be done to get it to this point. We did not know that we were going to be doing outer rockers, and we had to do those. We did not know we were going to have to repair both cowl sides, including the bracing. And on this is the driver's side down here, the whole bottom of the A-pillar and the hinge and hinge support area. Got the toe boards on, as I mentioned. I've got extra bracing in. We got a brace right here. It's welded to the tunnel, and it goes back to the X-brace. And what that's going to do, that keeps this in position this way. And then as we move back here, you can see the little feet that I have. There's one, and there's one, and they're part of that rear X-brace that has been in the car since I cut the quarters off. And what that will do is that will set the position of the rear of the floor. The tunnel here sets the position of the front of the floor. So now we know nothing's going to move. I took a bunch of measurements, and I know, if you look up here, from this mounting hole to the next one is 45 inches. Verify that on the chassis, and that is exactly what we will set the floor to. The floor is test fit on the chassis, and I guess I could say thank God it went on. I was worried that we might have an issue where maybe one of the mounting holes for the body bushings would be out of location, like we had on that trunk pan over there that I had to move. But we got lucky. This went on. I checked it for square. It's actually sitting on the chassis pretty square, so I'm pretty confident that this is going to go in really well. So here's the new floor. That tunnel, that's just laying on there right now. I'm going to have to cut the floor out. This is a 4-speed car, so I'll have to cut the floor out and install that tunnel, but I'm going to do that when it's on the car. Once I set everything down, I get the hole marked, I'll set it all up, and then cut the hole. So back over to here, back to the car. You can see we've got a lot of work left to do, that this is the perfect time to do it. This car is on the rotisserie. I can stand here and do a lot of work, a lot of cleanup work. I can come into here. You can see we've got a lot of areas of surface rust, and that's from where the factory just didn't get paint. So I'll clean all these up and we'll paint all of that. Move forward, it's the same thing on the other side. Move forward, we'll get the rest of this cowl. A lot of what you're seeing isn't really rust. There is some surface rust there, but there must have been some extra insulation padding glued to this. You can see the spray pattern. It's just this really ugly yellow glue that is all over the place, and I'm going to have to take all that down and paint this as well. This I've already cleaned off. I'm going to clean and paint all of this. I'll treat everything in here. I'll seam seal my edges from the toe board repair. As you can see here, I already treated that area. This way, hopefully, if any water does get in, it won't rust the car away anymore. This will also make it easier to repair the bottom of the dash area here at the cowl. As I move the camera up, it's hard to pick up, but where this seam is in here, that's where the dash panel and the cowl meet, and you can see some daylight here and there, and there's just a lot of rust in there, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Since this was a bucket seat car, I'm gonna have to do one of two things. I'm hoping the aftermarket makes new bucket seat braces, because as you can see, there's a brace here that is not on the new floor, and there is a brace right here that is also not on the new floor, and it's on both sides. These, as you can tell by looking, are really crusty. I really don't want to have to use these unless I have no alternative. So we'll find out. I'll look and see what's available. If they're available, we'll get them on order. We'll get them in here. But this is the mess that came out. I'm going to leave it. We'll just keep it outside the shop here until we're done. And that's another point. Never get rid of parts like this until you've completed the reinstall, because there are things on here that you have to measure, that you have to install. You know, number one would be the seat braces, as I just mentioned, where the seat mounts. We have to make sure we put them in the right spot. The other thing would be these rear seat mount braces. There's one there, there's one there, and they are in a position that has to be within a pretty good measurement, pretty decent measurement. As well, here's a seat back. That's a mount for the seat back. This is a mount right here for the seat bottom, and there's another mount for the seat back there. So you're going to need this stuff. You need to you need to keep your floor until you're done with the job, and then scrap it. I know a lot of times guys will hack cars apart, they'll get rid of everything, and now they don't know where anything goes. So throw it in a corner. I'm going to throw it outside. It won't really hurt anything. Once I'm done taking my measurements on it, it's going to go bye-bye with the rest of the scrap. There's more of the scrap there. There's the old quarter panels. Those are good fenders. We're using them. The inner wheel wells, that's all good. Cowl, we got lucky. A lot of that stuff is good, but the old rear bumpers there, we'll be replacing that, I hope. But back over to the car. As I said, now is the time, and this is what I'm going to do. So it's probably going to take me quite some time to clean all this up, to get all this stuff painted, and get this entire area prepped for the new floor. But it's going to be a real nice job when it's done. Here's the other side. As I mentioned, you can see kind of the same deal. There's a little bit of surface rust in places, and we're going to go ahead and fix all that. So that's just the update on the 67 GTO. As always, any questions or comments, feel free to ask. Hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If not, welcome back, my current subscribers. Stay tuned for more.